Hello and welcome to lesson number 4, and in this lesson I will be talking about your previous real estate investing or real estate purchase experience. All right, now real estate investing experiences comes in different shapes and sizes. It come as good, as bad, and it sometimes come as ugly. Now let me also quickly remind you here that the essence of this guide is to minimize the bad or bitter experiences, to minimize the losses, and maximize the opportunities or the gains that one can find in real estate investment generally. So we are increasing the good. All right, that is what knowledge does, and that is why this guide is very important. Now, knowledge is equally important, especially when you're investing in cities like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, because hey, city investing is a lot better than investing in the village. For instance, there's nothing that I'm really doing in my village again, so I won't be considering buying land or buying a building in my village, except if it's an industrial real estate and it is certain that there are projects that require that particular kind of real estate, and I'm well positioned to get the most value from that kind of investment. So if you're investing in the city, and sincerely, there's more money in city real estate than in village real estate, well, except if you want to go into farming. All right, so not everyone invest in real estate for money. I should also mention that. Okay, now there are two kinds of value that you can get from real estate. The first one is sentimental value, and the second one is monetary value. So now this is why setting a goal and connecting it to a purpose is important, even before you buy a piece of real estate. Okay, so an example of a sentimental value that you gain from real estate is, for instance, you just want to belong to a certain class of people, or you want to belong to a certain societal status. All right, that's an example of a sentimental value, and you feel that if you buy property or buy land in a particular location, that affords you the opportunity and the prestige to belong to that class. Okay, so that's an example of sentimental value. Another example is, all my mates are buying land, or my parents didn't really have much because they focused on education and so on and so forth. So I feel that I want to make them happy and compensate them. So you build them a house or you buy them a house. So that's a sentimental value, because that house most likely will not put money in your pocket at the end of the day. Now, an example of monetary value is I buy land in year 1, or I buy a property or a piece of real estate in year 1, and in 6 months time I'm already looking for who to buy it who to buy it off me, and I have calculated how much I will be making once I sell that piece of real estate, and I'm actively marketing that particular asset. Okay, that's an example of monetary value that I'm looking to gain from real estate. All right, so you must know exactly what you're getting out of every real estate purchase and out of every real estate investment, so that you know how to get it in full. So back to previous real estate investing experience. Okay, so if you have not had any previous experience before, I will be sharing mine. All right, you know what they say about it's smart to learn from other people's mistakes, right? So I'll be sharing some of mine, not all, some of mine, and I hope that you learn 1 or 2 things from it. And if there are people around that you can discuss with and you can ask them questions about their real estate investing journey or experience, and they are willing to share freely, please engage them and also learn from them. Okay, so I invested in real estate at first in year 2015. It was a crowd-funded real estate investment opportunity. Crowd-funded. I felt, okay, since it's crowd-funded, it has to do with a lot of people, and it was Naira-based. The real estate was said to be in the UK, and I could do everything on my phone. I could do everything on my laptop, so I felt cool, and I could invest as low as 5,000 Naira. Yes, in 2015, I felt, wow, this is fantastic, this is amazing. So I hopped on that wagon, and I liked the idea that I could just do everything on my phone. Remember, in one of the previous lessons, I talked about we liking plug and play real estate experiences. So it was an example of plug and play because I could do everything on my phone. I don't need to deal with agents, I don't need to do paperwork. It was just so easy and seamless. Guess what? I was making money. I made cool money, and they would even pay you referral bonus. So I was just referring everybody, and yes, they made money. I also made money, but I also made losses. Okay, because at some point, the founders were no longer they were nowhere to be found. Yes, the founders were nowhere to be found, and there was no communication. There was nothing. Don't forget, it was online. Although they had a registered office, and well, I couldn't dash down to UK out of anger to go and find them out. But some other investors who were based in the UK at that point in time, they tried to locate the office address, but they said it was just a registered address and there was nobody that they could hold or question. So it was in the news at some point and so on and so forth. So that's how that particular investment ended. So the money that I made from it, and I'm a good saver, so I was saving part of it. Then I was still on a job, so I saved more, and I had a chunk. So I felt, okay, no, I must make money. I must make money at least from real estate, right? So the next available opportunity that I had about, all right, I also jumped on that one. Okay, so I heard that I could buy acres of farmland in Ogun State, and from the government plan, after like maybe 10-15 years, that place would become a city when people start moving in and so on and so forth. So I was like, wow, fantastic. If I have 10 acres of land here, in 10 years time, if I'm selling, even if I'm just selling, so you know how all these calculations go on in your head. So I jumped on that one. It was introduced to me by a friend. So I jumped on it and I felt, okay, this one, I can even go there. I can feel it. I can see it. I can touch it. You know what we say about you can touch real estate. So I went for it. I opted for it. And to cut the long story short, the seemingly perfect wealth-making opportunity became a story that touched at the end of the day. All right, so this was in 2016, and I went to Ogun State because I felt, I can't afford Lagos for now, so let me go to Ogun State. Again, I must note here that affordability most times does not equate profitability in real estate. That a piece of real estate is affordable does not mean that it's going to make you money or be profitable for you. So at some point we learned that we couldn't access the farmland. And when it was becoming a bloody or messy situation, I chose my peace of mind above everything else. So I walked away, and hundreds of thousands went down the drain just like that. So, and not only me, the people that I also brought into the picture, especially those who really wanted to start farming at that point in time. In fact, they were the ones who were denied access that we got to know how bloody this matter was. So everybody had to run for their lives, all right? So, and I learned some vital lessons from that experience and the previous experiences. And again, because I now decided to be intentional about real estate investing, I have been learning and researching out, and I have a whole lot of lessons that I have drawn. All right, I'll be sharing some of those lessons with you in the next lesson. Talk soon in lesson 4. Bye for now.